What's up everybody, Ramey here, and today we're talking about our generic mag grips. Should you buy them? Are they worth it? Do they do anything different than like your standard bars? You know, there's all different kinds. We got big ones, we got medium-sized ones, we got little ones, we got different angle ones, we got ones with angles on it, we got ones that have neutral grips on it. How do you choose these? Should you even buy them? Are they worth it? That's what we're going to get into. That's what we're going to talk about. All right, so first thing, why would you even bother buying these at all? What's the purpose of these versus, say, these? Okay, so here's the purpose. What these do, A, they offer different kinds of angles. So you can see like this one's angled. So this one is an identical version of the actual mag grip because it has an angle on it. This one's called Blustlum, I don't know, generic Amazon thing. This one is angled exactly like a mag grip. Then there are different angles like neutral grip. Whereas when you look at your standard bar, this is just, you know, forward straight, forward back. So having different angles can be an advantage. It's just like a different variation. Sort of like the difference between like a regular grip bench press and a multi-grip bench press, or using dumbbells and being able to put your hands in different ways. That can make people's joints feel a little better. It also can hit the muscle a little differently. So it's nice having variation, having these different angles. Now I won't say, so this is a copy of the real mag grip angle. I won't say that this angle is any better than neutral. It's just different. It hits the muscle slightly differently, and they're both two different variations of the grip. That's all. So there's no like better. Like it's not like the mag grip angle is actually better or anything. There's like no research saying that this angle is better. It just hits a little differently. So it's kind of like, what do you prefer? And that's the same with this. Like these will hit a little differently as well. So it's just a different angle. What else these things do is they isolate the wrist. When you grip onto these, your hand is not moving. Like when your hand's on this, I move the wrist around. Hand is on this, that wrist can't move. My arm can move, but the wrist is solid. What that does is it keeps and helps your wrist muscles stay in one place. So for someone having elbow tendonitis, it can actually help their muscles stay in one place, help their grip, so that they are not using those muscles as much during the movement. The other thing that these things do is that they force you, because you're not using your wrists as much, to actually pull with your elbows. So people who aren't necessarily used to doing this exercise a lot and using this, and some people say like, I just never feel it in my lats. Well, that's because you're not pulling with your elbows. If you pull with your elbows, you're gonna feel it in your lats. Some people pull with their arms and wrists when they do this exercise. This helps force you to pull with your elbows. So you'll hear people say it hits much better. That's probably because it's forcing you to really pull with your elbows. Now, if I'm pulling with my elbows with this, pulling with my elbows with this, I'm not feeling it any different. I'm not feeling it any different when I do them. It's just different angles, so I can hit it a little differently and feel it a little differently like that, but my muscle's working with regardless of what I'm doing. All right, so that's like the why do you use these things. Then we have all these different sizes and the different angles. How do you know what you're supposed to get? Well, unfortunately, you don't until you try them all out. So the first thing I would ask yourself is, what kind of lat pull downs do you prefer to do? If you like really wide grips, then you probably want to go for the wide grip version. Me personally, I'm a medium grip lat pull down person, like this. I actually do these not even all the way out. I do it more like here, here. I knew the medium grip would probably be better for me, so that's what I started with. I started with the medium grip, and then I just got a set because I wanted to see how they all worked. If you do lots of close grip stuff, you can look at the close grip ones. There's all kind. I got more of them over here, more close grip ones over here as well. All right, so that's how you kind of decide. How do you figure out what angle you get? Should you get neutral, or should you get the angled ones that are more like the mag grips? That's also going to come down to your personal preference. Like, I can't tell you which one's better. I personally kind of like the angle a little better, but I don't know, the neutral grip is different as well. Like they're both just a little different. Like it's not like one's better than the other. I think that they're just a little different from each other, and that's how I'll describe it. They're just a little different. That's why I actually got both. In the medium grip, I got both. I got the neutral grip and I got the angled grip, just so I'd be able to like play around and use both. Okay, I'm not particularly fond of the wide grip one. It's just too wide for me. That's just, my body type is not wide. Now, one thing that's interesting and that I've kind of learned as I got these is that I'm a huge fan of the close grip pull down, and I'm a big fan of the close grip row. And I do both of these with this thing. And all kinds of variations of this that I use at different gyms. I've used like the big Rogue one, all kinds of different ones. I really like it. I actually am not a huge fan of doing it with any of the models of this that I have tried. I don't know why, it just doesn't feel, for some reason, with my body type, these just feel a lot better for me. Any version of these, variation of these, feels a little better than these. So that's just me, that's just kind of my opinion, so that's what I'm using. Next question people have is, can you flip these around? So like if I buy this medium one, can I do like front and back? 100% yes. And that's actually what I do. In the beginning of the week, I usually do, it just depends what kind of workout I'm doing, but I always do, throughout my week, I always do front, at least an exercise of front, and I do an exercise of reverse, because they do hit different muscles, the way they hit your biceps and stuff differently. So I do, and I will just simply, all you do is on the hook, just reverse it, that's it. So you can technically just buy one of these and you can do both, 100%. Feels good both ways. Again, it's just different angles. Like I'm doing it this way, one angle, do it this way, another angle. That's all it is. Same thing with this. Oh, now I can just do them with neutral. And these are like neutral, like slightly angled, so neutral, angle. Different variations, all right? Now, the big question is, so we've got like these. So that's like my review of them. Like they do work. They do help isolate this muscle in here, which helps decrease elbow tendonitis, which I have, which is the reason I even bought these things. They do help feel the muscle better, because a lot of people don't always pull with their elbows and feel it in their lats. They force you to do that much more. So they are better in that regard. So what are my overall thoughts on them? Well, and do I think you should buy them? After using them a bunch, and I do have the regular grip, just let me get that and show you guys here. I do have these, which actually you can see they're on a spinny thing which move and go onto a bar. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I don't like these. I much prefer a stable bar to these, because I just don't like how they spin around while I'm using them. It just feels weird a little bit to me, and that's all personal preference. But they do make bars like this that have a spinning handle and the bar's solid. I think if I was rebuying and I might just go do it, I probably would just get one of those, because that allows me to choose, and I'll put a picture of it up on the screen, that allows me to choose any angle that I want. So it takes all of this out, like which angle should I get, neutral or angled or what, out of the equation, and just lets me pick what's comfortable for me. I'd probably go ahead and just do that. So, and I won't have like 10 bars all over the place either. The other thing is, for those of you that are happy with your straight bars, especially if you're pulling with the elbows, you really feel it in your lats, I see no reason to jump into these unless you're having elbow tendonitis problems. They do really help with the elbow tendonitis, I will admit, because I get elbow issues from doing heavy lat pull downs and heavy chin-ups on using the pull down, especially, I mean, if I just do regular pull-ups and chin-ups on a bar, I get it really bad. These really do help take the wrists out of the equation, those muscles, and do help ease that a bit. So in that regard, it's really worth it. But I think if you're perfectly happy with like your lat pull down, there's no reason to get it. Like, don't feel like, oh, I'm missing something. No, the reason people are saying these hit better is because they really force you to use your elbows. If you're already using your elbows, these aren't going to hit any better. So don't think that like you're missing out on something by not getting these. Do I think you should get the regular, invest the money in the mag grips? So that's a personal preference thing. I do think that I want to support innovation and I want to support companies coming up with stuff. So in that regard, it like stinks that these Amazon companies have copied it, but dude, these are the exact mag grips, same angle, just so much cheaper. Like when you talk about like if you're struggling for money, living paycheck to paycheck, like dude, don't even think about it. Please just get the generic ones and save your money. If you've got good money, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you've got a nice big house, all that cool stuff, and you don't care about the extra few $100s they are, please support the real company and get the mag grips. But like, dude, for most working people, like, I can't do that. I just can't pay the money for the mag grips when there's like this available that's so much cheaper. Like, I just can't afford that. And like, I don't think, you know, we got some problems and that I want people to save money where they can. I do also want to support innovation. It's like one of those like, what do you do? What's right? Kind of thing. So yeah, those are my thoughts on them. You know, I mean, I can keep talking about them more and more, but I think you've kind of seen the basics. Like, it's all about what angle do you want, what size do you want, and how much do you want to pay, and what do you really need them for. One thing I will recommend when you're on Amazon looking at these is make sure, like, look at the angles of the pictures of the ones you're buying and compare that to MagGrip's site. Like these Bluslums, B-L-U-S-L-M, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Bluslum, I don't know, are the exact as the MagGrips. And there's a few other brands out there that are exact as the MagGrips. But then like these are Signature Fitness, and these are neutral grips. Neutral, they're like curved slightly, but they're neutral grips. These are much cheaper, and yeah, they're just as good. It's just a different variation, different angle. There is no research out there saying that one of these angles is better than another. There is research out there showing that using different grips hits your muscles differently. So how do you want to hit it? And what's comfortable for me, it may not be comfortable for you. You may hate the angled grips, you may like the neutral. That's why I like the bar that it like turns that I showed you the picture up on the screen. Because you can like pick how you prefer your hands to be held. So it's going to differ for everybody slightly. All right, so that's my review of the generic mag grips. They can be worth it. It's kind of like one of those questions, but good luck, y'all.